What's up, everybody? And I am back for another dial. This dial is going to be very similar to the dial I created back in episode 79, which was the alleyway for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's going to have a billboard between the windows, some more brickwork, fence. It's going to be literally, the person contacted me from Australia, and he said he wanted the exact same dial. But my policy is that I'll never create a duplicate dial. I just feel that it's a unique thing for an individual. And there's so many ideas that I just don't see why I'd have to create the exact same one. Now, real quick, just to touch on that. Lately, I have been noticing that a lot of people are creating dials and they're pretty much copying the exact same dial that I'm creating, and they're using these videos to do that. I guess the way I feel about it as an artist, when you create something, as an artist who grew up in the city of Boston, who grew up in an urban type situation, grew up in the golden age of hip hop, we call it biting. So when you copy, you bite someone, it's kind of frowned upon. It's especially when it comes to your art. So it's important that when you create your art. I love doing these videos because they do inspire people. I love the fact that people can look at these videos and say, hey, I want to try my own dial. But try your own dial. There's no point in copying the exact same thing I have. So for example, the gentleman's name is Clint, and Clinton wanted, the same dial that I created in 79, but I told him I wasn't going to do that. And he was like, but that's really going to work for me. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to create something very similar. I'll switch some things around. So in that original dial, the two windows were here. This wall was on this side. The billboard was here on the opposite side. So I split the windows up. I'm putting the billboard there. I'm doing the fence that's going to be a little shorter. I'm going to add something here. I'm not sure yet. My point is that I'm able to emulate a real similar dial in the taste and flavor that he wants without copying the exact same one. So as you guys are watching this video and future videos, be original. Come up with your own ideas. Use the techniques that I don't mind sharing with you guys, but come up with your own setup. I mean, there's just way too many ideas. Google alleyways. Google, there's so many different outlets to get information from. And all right, so there's part 1 and part 2 coming up in a little bit. Diorama theme. I mean, I know it's Halloween themed. Bring out your ghouls and ghosts and zombies and so forth. So basically Halloween themed. So just, use your imagination, do something that's Halloween themed. So what I am going to do is a zombie scene using this dial that is going to Australia once I'm done with it. I spoke to the person who commissioned it, Clint, and asked him if it was okay for me to use it in the first round. He agreed. So we're good to go with that. I should be done painting it by Tuesday night. It should be good to go. And then Thursday. Alright, so I am back with an update, and I am moving quickly along, as this is the dial I'm going to use for the ACBA tournament, or first round of the ACBA tournament, World Tournament. The submissions are due Sunday, October 25th. So this is the dial that I'm going to use for my submission. I spoke to Clint, who is the guy who commissioned it, and I asked him if it was okay for me to use this dial, and he said it was cool, which is perfect because I wasn't going to have time to create another dial. And the shot I have in mind, this is a great dial for it. So really quickly, just wanted to kind of update where I am now. So what I did is painted these two different grays, just to give it a little bit of a difference in color. The grate, I originally wanted to make this grate so that you can open it and close it. But what happened is that this piece snapped off. So I'm afraid that if I do that, it may snap off again. I glued it pretty well and it should be okay. But I think what I'm going to do instead is just make it a permanent grate, and go from there. And the door, I'm still, it didn't cut too clean, so I'm still not sure if I'm going to make it a permanent thing or just something that he can remove. The fence is all set. This thing here is actually going to be what goes underneath the billboard. This light will be illuminating the billboard. This is the little grate thingamajiggy that goes on the door. Yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys an update. I still have a little ways to go. It is Wednesday. I will start filming or setting this up tomorrow, and I still have to create the window treatments or the window frame or inside the frame, and I still have to finish painting that. So there's still a few things to go, but I should be okay. I should be able to finish. Alright guys, so this is where I'm at with this dial, and hopefully, man, this is gonna be a short video actually. Hopefully the next segment will be the last. I will try to extend it a little bit, just because as I think right now, if I can remember correctly, we're maybe on a 5 or 6 minute video, which might not be a bad thing actually. But anyway, so that's where I'm at, and I'll be back. Peace. Alright, we are back for an update, and I should have turned the TV off before I started because... Alright, that's good. Alright, so we are wrapping this one up. The last few things that I need to do is I want to put a like one of those yellow posts so that cars don't back into the fence, and I want to put one there and there. So I have no idea what I'm going to use. In the past, I've used wine corks that I've glued together and painted, and I just although it's I like something a little skinnier than that, but it's those cement posts again that are just kind of guarding any trucks backing up and messing that fence up, and or hitting the corner of either of those sides as they're loading into that door. So okay, here we go. So I was able to, I don't even remember what the last update looked like to be honest with you, but I'll go over everything real quick. The windows are in place. This little porch thing here is in place, as this is going to be, you know, where the workers will climb up and put up billboards. This is what I have right now. I'm waiting for Clinton to send me over his logo so I can put it on the billboard. I had used that, as he had given me permission to use this for the first round of the ACBA World Championship Tournament. And so once he gives me that, I'll be able to put his logo, and then his logo will be on that billboard. I also was able to get that dumpster for him, throw some tags and whatnot. I'm going to ask him actually if he wants any tags on him. And then I'm just hooking up these signs. What I'm doing actually for the first time is, in the past, what I usually do is just cut, you know, print these out and I cut them out. And what I did instead is this time I placed them on some really thin foam, and that foam comes from, this was a sub. I bought a sub somewhere, I don't remember where, and they gave it to me in this foam container. So I've been using it little by little. So what I'm gonna do is basically just glue this on here, let it dry, and then I'll cut it out, and then it gives it a little bit of depth. Not something that will be super noticeable, but you know, something that will be a little bit different. And I'm just gonna put those up around. So that's pretty much where we are right now, and the last segment will be the finished dial. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace. Okay, I am finally done with this. So this measures 22 inches? 22 inches across, 13 inches deep, 18 inches tall. Very similar to the dial that I made in episode 79, I believe. The client had hit me up. I think I already explained this. I'm just gonna go over it real quick. He hit me up and he wanted the same one. And unfortunately, again, I just don't like to repeat dials. So I told him that I'd give him the same elements, and I'll just switch up some of the, where I had placed the fence and the windows. So I just switch it up, but I'll still give him the same height, the same space. And he accepted that. So as of right now, that billboard is going to change. So I'm waiting for him to email me his logo so I can change that up. It'll be his logo, and I also want to put his logo on the awning. So yeah, man, it's this took forever, and it wasn't even that it took forever. Honestly, the client wasn't really in a rush. ACBA tournament for me. October was a crazy month for me and my girl, so it was just one of those situations where it just took longer than what what I normally would have taken. But it's all right. It got done, and I'm happy with the results. So what I'm going to do really quickly is take it apart because that is one of the things that people always like to see. So real quick. None of this stuff is permanent, obviously. You just get pushed to the side. Turn off the light. You can pull that out. Pull that out. The awning is stabbed into the dial, as is this little walkway thing, as is the ladder to get to the platform to change the billboard. The fence stabbed into the wall. He actually also requested a dumpster, and so he was able to get that as well. I'm not sure if he wants graffiti on it. I have to double check, but it should be a pretty quick thing. Yeah, so that's how it kind of looks raw, and then, you know, easy enough to just boom, and there it is. I think what I'm going to do with this piece is I'm going to actually cut this piece here across and magnetize it. It's just a really, really big piece, and it's gonna cost me a little more, cost him a little more for shipping if I try to ship it that way. So I think I'm just gonna cut it, magnetize it. That should be easy enough, and it should work out. I'll see if I can find a box and see if the dimensions stay small enough where I won't get charged extra at the post office. But yeah, man, I'm happy with the way it came out. Use a different style for the window there on the door, which is cool. And then for this dial, I actually added the roll down, the grate, versus the other dial that he was looking at that didn't have one. So that should be a welcomed addition. All right, y'all. And I am Audi 5000. Peace.